Hello and welcome to the HID Global stand here at Intersec Saudi Arabia. I'm delighted to be joined by Sam Cherif today. Sam, thank you for having me on your stand.
Thank you.
Sam is a very experienced leader in security-led organizations and is going to be helping us to understand a little bit more today about the role of access control here in the Middle East market, as well as HID solutions. Sam, first of all, could you just help us to understand a little bit more about the current trends we're seeing in the adoption of mobile access solutions here in the region?
Absolutely. So thanks for having me. Mobile access is obviously a tremendously fascinating area. The uptake of mobile access is nothing like we've seen in the security industry over the last 30 years, albeit still a relatively small part of the business, but the rates of growth are explosive in the kingdom and in the region, the broader region. As far as mobile access here, conceptually, you can look at it two ways. One is the volumes that are simply taken off, and two, the use cases that are using mobile, basically, with the increased offering of services. So today, you're looking at no longer just getting through a door, but basically using mobile access for a variety of functions around any kind of building, as well as connecting it to payments, to other services. And as a matter of fact, HID is coming to the market as a leader, as it has been in access control with the virtual ID in the Apple Wallet as well as in the Google Wallet. So access in wallet by HID is a feature that we're starting to talk about increasingly in the Middle East. But yeah, mobile access is becoming increasingly significant. Yeah,
absolutely. And yeah, I mean, you touched on the virtual ID just then, and from being here on your stand, I know that there are a lot of products that have been released recently and will be launched or relaunched in the future. But I'd like to know a little bit more about which of your products are really addressing the needs of customers here in the Middle East.
All right. So in terms of physical access control, obviously mobile access in and of itself, getting through doors is a first use case. But obviously we have a lot more use cases. And now we're bringing to market identity positioning, which is basically a technology for space optimization in commercial real estate. Increasingly, the higher education sector, oil and gas, is taking a look at identity positioning as a way to account for the folks that are in their premises at any given point in time, which answers a lot of different use cases on the safety and security side, as well as on the access.
Thank you, Sam. So we touched upon the HID identity positioning then. Could you just help us to understand a little bit more about that, how that integrates with other smart technologies?
So identity positioning is basically a service through mobile access to account for people and assets within a given space, right? It's part of this broader conceptualization of smart, eco-friendly, right, and sustainable buildings. So it is based on a highly secured CIAS technology, which is the platform for mobile access, right? And what it does effectively is that it allows real estate operators, it allows other end users and other verticals, like I said, to account for people and assets in real time, and therefore increases profitability by optimizing cost efficiencies, right? And increasing safety all around.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Thanks, Sam. So we've touched upon your smart technologies already, but I'd like to know a little bit more about the emerging trends we're seeing here in the region, how HID are leveraging these trends, and how you're optimizing the products to be tailored to the customers here in the Middle East and obviously the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
That's a very good question. It's a very complex one too. But let's backtrack a little bit. So trends are a function of the environment we're operating in, and the Middle East right now is at a very nice sweet spot in terms of growth, scaling all across the region, particularly in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, as you've noticed. All kinds of multinationals, big and small, are investing, in additional resources here, bringing technology innovations, and what we see is that in the kingdom and the region, there is an increasing adoption of hybrid cloud systems, which allow for more mobile services. So this is a big emerging trend in the middle of a growth positive environment, which we think is going to be sustained, through this 2030 vision, at least in the kingdom. So we've got a lot of positive things to work with. HID has been at the forefront of access control and physical security. And so by launching mobile access a few years back and now seeing its significant uptake in the Middle East and in Saudi Arabia, it affords us a platform to launch additional services for end users across a lot of different verticals: commercial real estate, oil and gas, commercial enterprise, higher education. You have it. And so we think we are positioned to expand our ecosystem in terms of services being offered, in terms of technology partners, and in terms of government and private end users across a lot of different verticals.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Sam. And you're right, it was quite a complex question, but that was a very comprehensive answer as well. And I'm sure that's very useful for our audience at home. Thanks, Sam. So like I said, that was quite a comprehensive answer, but I'd like to know more about what you think are the key challenges being faced here in the access control market in the Middle East.
Okay, so to be candid, going a few years back, we had some resistance in terms of the cyber computing regulatory frameworks in the region, but we've come a long way. All governments have been so proactive in terms of enabling this digitization effort, which has opened the door basically wide open to companies, particularly leaders in the field like HID, to bring in mobile access, identity positioning, and further services down the road. So the increased openness to cloud services, to hybrid services, has allowed us and our end users to answer demands for more flexibility, more security, cost efficiencies everywhere, and a move towards this digitization journey that the kingdom has targeted for 2030.
Absolutely. And I think it really is an age of digitization that we're living in right now. Cybersecurity, cyber resilience, data privacy are all so key as we see new technologies adapted and more of a digital world being implemented. I'd like to know what HID is doing to address the needs here and ensure the cybersecurity and the data security for their customers.
Yeah. So HID has always worked with a fundamental notion of protecting data. So data privacy and cyber computing governance around anything we do is fundamental, right? We are GDPR compliant. We are SOC 2 compliant. We have any ISO you can think of, we are compliant towards that. So that applies to the region and globally, right? So our de facto position is that privacy and security sit at the heart of physical access control.
Excellent. I'm really glad to hear that. And I think I got that message from meeting some of your customers here on the stand yesterday. And I was checking out some of your newer products here. But what I'd like to know finally from you is which new products HID are bringing to the Middle East and Africa market at the end of 2023 into 2024 and beyond. What can we get excited about?
So obviously we have to be excited by default about our most recent line of readers, right? Which enable mobile access and all of the mobile services, the Signal line. But more recently, there's a lot more to be excited about in terms of access cards, credentials in the wallets, particularly Apple Wallet, Google Wallet. We're also bringing to market to the mid-market, a new reader as well. We are identity positioning is key in the services we're offering. We're moving towards connected architecture as a whole package, as an ecosystem of new products that we're bringing.
Thank you. And it is a very exciting time. I agree, Sam, especially as we see so many new technologies adopted here in the region. So thank you so much. Really great insights into your innovations and into the way that you're managing your products to continue addressing the needs of customers here in the Middle East. Sam, I wish you the best of luck for the rest of the show. Thanks so much for having me here.
Thank you very
I look
much.
forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.